Alright, so may mga nakikita pa akong mga questions and huwag kayong mag-alala, babalikan natin yan mamaya dun sa ating Q&A. But Jeff, are you ready to present yung
Yes.
copy portfolio?
Yeah, of course. So the next part is copy portfolios. Exactly, ano ba talaga sila? So we get this question quite a lot, right?
Okay, so iwanan muna kita, Jeff, ha?
Yes, no problem. Okay, ayun, perfect. So, yeah, we get this question quite a lot, right? Ano ba talaga yung copy portfolios? Parati kasi may manual trade doon pag gusto ko mag-invest sa Apple, for example. Copy trader kung gusto ko mangopya nga ng isang trader. Pero ano ba talaga yung copy portfolios, right? So, I'll try to give you guys an idea. Hopefully, you guys understand it. Feel free to ask, right? So, what are copy portfolios and why? So, it is basically a basket of assets or traders picked by eToro based on a selected theme. So meaning dito, hindi na ikaw yung pumipili, right? Kasi sa copy trading, pwede mong piliin yung traders na gusto mo eh, right? Sa manual trading, pumipili ka obviously yung stocks na gusto mong investan, right? Gusto mong mag-invest sa Apple, gusto mong mag-invest sa Google, Netflix, right? Sa copy portfolios naman, ang kailangan mo lang piliin is yung theme, and then everything else si eToro na pipili. So for example, right? So this is a very good example, driverless cars, right? So marami nagsasabi na, we're moving towards driverless cars in the future, right? Google, Uber, even Apple has invested in it, right? So if you think that, let's say, driverless is the future, if you're very bullish on it, tingin mo maging okay siya in the future, then itong driverless copy portfolio na to, nilalagay natin yung mga companies na nandun sa industry na yon. So na nag-i-invest doon. So for example, right? So you have traditional car makers like Honda, Toyota, right? Siyempre, Honda, Toyota, car makers sila. They are also innovating on driverless cars, right? So sila gumagawa ng mga sasakyan mismo, right? But you also have Microsoft, Google, and Apple, right? So obviously, tatanungin mo, ano ba kinalaman ng Microsoft, Google, and Apple sa driverless cars? But if you actually search, and there's a lot of news about this, sila yung gumagawa ng software na to. So let's say si Toyota yung gagawa ng sasakyan, then si Google naman yung magsusupply ng software para doon. Something like this, right? So if ikaw mismo naniniwala ka sa driverless, then that's something you can look at. There's also China tech, right? So tech leaders in China. So yung mga familiar na tayo sa Alibaba, JD.com, Tencent, yung gumawa ng WeChat, right? So a lot of these things, a lot of these China tech companies, meron tayong portfolio tungkol doon. Another fun one also is top trader portfolios, right? So as Fitz mentioned, kaya nga may list si Fitz, di ba, na traders that you can look at or traders that he recommends to copy. Kasi madalas talaga tanungin sa atin is, well, ang dami-dami mong traders, sino bang pwede kong kopyahin? Sino bang okay, right? So we have the top trader portfolios where based on a metric, so let's say Gainer's Quarter. Si Gainer's Quarter, based on eToro's algorithm, sino bang tingin namin na mga traders na maging profitable sa susunod? Or profitable move, continuing to be profitable, then these are the people there. Right? Sharp traders, this follows the Sharp ratio. It's a common ratio in finance. So traders na nagmi-meet ng metric na to, nilalagay natin sa buong portfolio na to. Active traders, as the title mentions, sino yung mga traders na madalas mag-trade, right? Lastly, meron din tayong partner portfolio. So partner portfolios, let's say si Warren Buffett. So these ones are managed not by eToro anymore, but managed by third-party partners of eToro. So for example, TipRanks, meron siyang Warren Buffett copy portfolio. What this means is ginagaya niya. So hindi to managed by Warren Buffett. Again, it's managed by TipRanks. But ang ginagaya niya is ginagaya niya yung ginagawa ni Warren Buffett. Right? Kasi public naman yan eh. So whatever Warren Buffett invests in, then yun din yung ini-invest nila. So kapag kinopya mo to, then kung ano ini-invest ni Warren Buffett, yun din ini-invest mo, right? The minimum for most has been reduced to $2,000. Before kasi $5,000 yung minimum to invest in a copy portfolio. So that's around 2,500 pesos. Now it's been reduced to just $2,000, so around actually less than 100,000 pesos na lang ngayon. The reason why we reduced it, or actually the reason why it's, pag napansin mo sa copy trader, 200 lang. For copy portfolios, it's a bit higher just because madami ka nang kinokopya all in one time. right? So I'll show you. So for example, right? So Gainer's Quarter, it's made up of people. So makita mo, I have a bunch of these people. Actually, ito yung mga, some of these yung mga ni-recommend ni Fitz, right? So makita mo kung how much of the money is invested there, right? If I have $1,000, then 4.87% is invested in this guy, 4.7 in this guy, and so on, right? So this is people-based, right? Another thing, for example, is shopping cart, right? So ito yung theme naman, following a theme of digital commerce. So same as before, we show you the performance, right? As you'll expect, right? So this is the reason why I decided to feature or show this shopping cart, is to show you kung very relevant siya in terms of COVID-19, right? So nagsimula yung lockdowns for a lot of us, especially in the US, during March, right? Actually, March nga. March na nagsimula. As you would expect, everybody's in their homes. Hindi sila makalabas, hindi sila makapunta ng mall. So lahat ng things binibili nila online. So yung digital commerce, it shot up April, May, June, July, right? So these months na naka-lockdown, dun siya tumaas. Nowadays, maybe because people are starting to reopen, not as big anymore, right? But this is very fun and interesting to see. Again, so ito yung portfolio niya. It's made up of Amazon, eBay, Netflix. Netflix because it's not just it's not just purchases, but also digital commerce in general. That's why may Spotify din tayo doon, right? Etsy, JD.com. JD.com is like a competitor to Alibaba in China. So makita mo yung yung allocation niya dyan as well. Again, it's following the theme of shopping cart or shopping online. Right. And then the last one is one thing that I do want to show is Outsmart Nasdaq. So Outsmart Nasdaq, kung familiar kayo, Nasdaq is basically an index of 100 top companies in the US. Nilalagay nila sa isang index and then they measure how well they do, right? So it gives you an idea kung kumikita yung Nasdaq, then alam mo na 100 companies roughly kumikita din, parang ganun. So eToro actually based on we worked with Microsoft on an AI algorithm for this. It's designed to beat the Nasdaq. So sa Outsmart Nasdaq, 15 stocks lang yung nandyan compared to 100. Basically, ang ginagawa ng algorithm ng eToro is out of the 100 Nasdaq companies, sino dito sa 100 na to yung tutuloy na maging profitable, let's say, next month, right? So, pipiliin natin yung top 15, tapos ilalagay natin siya sa Outsmart Nasdaq. And then it does show that it does beat the Nasdaq. So for example, this green one, you'll see right here, right? Nasdaq 100 is the green one. So the Nasdaq, since the start of the year, so this is since 2020, it's up right now 25.54%. What it just means is that kung nag-invest ako ng pera sa Nasdaq on January 2, my money is 25.54%. I've made 25.54% now. That's if I put my money on the Nasdaq. But if I put my money on Outsmart Nasdaq, kasi nga it's designed to outsmart the Nasdaq, up pa ako 37.67%, right? And you'll see that it always consistently just beats it, right? Parati siyang nasa taas. So yung gains niya mas mataas. So let's say at this point, around June, July, nasa 10% yung Nasdaq, yung Outsmart Nasdaq nasa around 20%, right? So you'll see that it's always just above the Nasdaq. Kasi nga 15 lang yung kinukuha natin. Yung tingin ng algorithm na talagang matatalo yung Nasdaq there. Before I end this, I just want to show everybody in terms of copy portfolios. We have a lot of market portfolios. It's very, very interesting. So kung ano man yung hilig mo, pwede mo siyang silipin. So again, we have driverless. We have renewable energy, right? Sinong bang if you believe in solar power, wind power, ito yung mga companies na invested doon. Again, we have shopping cart there, cloud computing, right? So for example, if, with Google, Amazon, with Amazon Web Services, all of these clouds, if you believe in them, then yeah, here's diabetes medicine, CRISPR tech, so genome engineering, even food tech, right? One thing that I find very interesting, which I hopefully rin ng ibang tao is, for example, in the game, right? So in the game, this is mostly, as you see from the title, it's mostly companies invested in the gaming industry. Hindi Pogo gaming, but like video games, right? So for example, ito yung performance niya so far. Again, same as the shopping cart, right? Obviously, since nag-lockdown yung mga tao, everybody's in their homes. Kung nabalita, well, ako kasi, I follow it a little bit. Yung Nintendo Switch, right? Yung console, nag-sold out siya. Hindi ka na makakabili at that time. Kasi nga, lahat bumili na eh. Right? And then they play at home. Kasi wala silang magawa, sa bahay lang, right? So they play video games. Right? So you'll see in the portfolio, 100% stock siya, and you'll see kung ano yung, we'll just click view all. So you'll see all of the things na invested siya. For example, NVIDIA makes the video cards. Gamers will know this. Nintendo, as I mentioned, Sony makes the PS4, right? AMD makes the chips. Activision Blizzard, so yung Dota, right? So Dota, si Blizzard yung publisher niya. EA, yung mga FIFA, 2K, NBA 2K15, Take-Two makes GTA, right? So Hasbro makes toys, Mattel makes toys, right? So all of Logitech, right? So your mouse, your gaming keyboards, right? So all of these companies are put together in one basket para pag nag-invest ka sa in the game, automatic na nag-invest ka na sa lahat to. So for example, let's just try, right? I just click invest. Again, the minimum is 2,000, right? I click invest, and then I have the confirmation. I go to my portfolio, and then you see na nag-invest na ako sa kanya, right? Hindi open yung market ngayon kasi Sabado, so hindi pa siya executed, but you will see that hinihintay na siya na tumuloy, right? I have a pending order already, right? So automatic, in just that one click na invest, automatic na invested na kagad ako sa lahat ng mga companies na to. Right. So that's basically copy portfolios. Again, I'll just show everybody very quickly in terms of cloud computing, right? The companies here are actually maybe more relevant is, let's say, food and drink. This is also a very fun one. You'll see in the stats na for food and drink, it didn't do too well compared to, let's say, in the game, right? Kasi obviously, marami mga restaurants dito na nag-suffer, especially during March, right? Some of them are okay kasi may take-out sila, right? But if you look at the stocks, right? So these ones, we're all familiar with this, right? Coca-Cola, Pepsi, McDonald's, Starbucks, right? Chipotle, Domino's Pizza, right? So again, same thing, right? If I believe in the food and drink industry, after the lockdown, babawi siya, I don't know. But let's say I invest, and then let's say I put in $2,000 again. Again, that's the minimum. I invest in it, right? My confirmation ulit, and then I go to my portfolio. I have food and drink there, right? So automatic, again, in just that one click, invested na kagad ako sa mga companies na to. So kung in the future, bumawi man yung mga companies na to sa lockdown, then kikita ako, right? So something like this. So that's just a very quick look at copy portfolios. Hopefully, naintindihan nyo siya. Again, it's really just answering. Kasi ang pwede ko naman kasi gawin dito is pwede ako pumunta sa Coca-Cola and invest in it myself. McDonald's, and then invest in it myself. But if I don't want to go through all that trouble, then I just click copy portfolio, food and drink, and then invested na kagad ako sa lahat na to. So yeah, that's basically it. And then if anybody has any questions, again, I really do recommend na you open a practice account. Nandiyan yung QR code, right? You can scan it with your phones already. And then if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. If I don't get to the email, I will have some of my Filipino colleagues reply as well. Fitz, you're also muted.
So maraming salamat, Jeff. Very interesting yung copy portfolio, no? And nabanggit mo, if they have additional questions or they want assistance, they can email you. So ito ang email ni Jeff, papakita natin. Wag niyo pagkakalat, guys, sa ating mga email. So jeffgo@etoro.com. So of course, the first step really is to create an account. Okay? So I hope you can take advantage of our QR code and our link to create your account so that you can use your practice account to learn lahat ng mga pinakita ni Jeff. And para sa akin, kung ayaw mo mag-invest sa mga individual stocks, alam mo yun, parang mutual fund yung mga copy portfolio no? Parang yun yung style niya. And that's also something na I know a lot of people are interested in kasi especially right now, marami nagtatanong sa akin kung okay ba raw mag-invest sa tech stocks, no? Kasi syempre, yan yung talagang kailangan natin ngayon. So obviously, I told them na it's a good idea to invest in tech stocks. Ngayon, ang tanong, Anong
Which
tech
one?
which one, 'di ba? So, of course, yung copy portfolio, that's your solution to that question, to that
Question.
dilemma. So just buy yung yung portfolio na nag-iinvest sa mga tech companies. All right? So thank you very much, Jeff, dun sa pag-explain. So again,